What's up guys, it's Timmy and welcome back to Factorio. So, if you joined me in the last episode, you'll know that we resolved our power issues by building a giant row of steam generators, which has taken us from barely keeping the lights on to now having almost 75% capacity spare, or production spare. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I'm going to call that a success for the last episode. However, what was not a success in the last episode was our attempts to deal with the biter bases, which, as you can tell, we've got a fairly significant one here, which is already inside of our pollution zone, and we have a few others around here which are very soon to be inside of our pollution zone. Ooh, there's actually one here which is just about to get engulfed. So we have some problems with biters, and the main problem being that we aren't actually able to destroy them. This little base up here has 3 large worms, or giant worms, whatever they are, currently all sort of pressed in against each other, and I just can't use my usual turret creep technique with them. It doesn't work. I could possibly spend some time between episodes and grind my way and get rid of them, but I'm kind of tired of doing that. So instead of doing that, we're going to try and push ourselves forward technologically a little bit and see if we can't get to some sort of more useful weaponry and things like that. So, as I said in the last episode, we have a little bit of a plan for where we're going to go forward, and I am going to try and stick to that. So, step 1 is green science. My current system of green science, of just sticking it in a box and letting it feed out onto the belt, is, it's done alright. It's allowed us to do a bit of the green level science, but it's not going to be sufficient long term. So we now need to fix that once and for all. So, the first thing this episode is we're going to set up the green science production. So, I've not really got any particular ideas in my head about how I'm going to do this, but I guess it kind of makes sense if I work backwards, and I'll say that I'm going to run the green science out of here onto the same belt. So let's match these up. I'm going to make 4. I feel like 4 is probably overkill for green science. I'm sure I've got away in the past with having, when I've got 10 labs, of having just 2 factories producing green science, and that was enough for me to do all of the science I ever needed. But let's go to 4. Let's go to 4, because the sooner we get everything unlocked, the better, I think. Right, so let's do this, and wait, which one? That one? Nope. Shift. Shift, there we go. I did remember. Shift right click, shift left click to copy and paste. Awesome. Right, so that's that. So these are going to need belts and inserters. So belts are pretty easy. They're just iron plate and gears, I believe. So, do we want to make... I'm just wondering if we want to... If we take a feed off this, is this going to, rather than making new gears, is this going to cause problems? I feel like one of these is not, no, let's not skimp. Let's not skimp and try and just squeeze it in with as little as possible. We're not in a position where we're short on resources, so let's make it its own iron gear production. So let's just have a quick double check what everything needs. So this is just iron gear and plate. Yeah, excellent. So that's just iron. And then these need iron gears, plate. Okay, so they need the same thing, but they also need microchips. So we're going to have to bring down the microchip feed, which is fine. That's why we built like this. Let's just break this feed here. Oh, I've got... I'm thinking, why is it taking me so long to do anything? And that's because my tool's broken. There we go. There, much more efficient. Much more efficient. Right, so underground belts, we still have loads from somewhere. So at some point in the past, I made 50 underground belts, and I don't remember when. I'm sure if you looked at the recording, you could probably point out to me the point that I did it, but who can be bothered to do that kind of thing? But still nice to have them. Right, so stick that in there like that, and I think 1 feed of this is going to be enough. Yeah, I do have a gap. I'm going to use up my spare gap in the middle. That's always dangerous. But we'll see. Hopefully we'll be right. There we go. Right, bring out on the chips. Feel like when I get to the bottom of here, this is going to be a bad... yeah, I thought so. we can... Yeah, we can find a way to resolve that, I'm sure. We should probably find a way to resolve it before... you know, let's just do this. Let's just do this. Nice and simple. It's not pretty, but it's simple. Oop. There we go. Right. So we're going to need to be running the chips. So we definitely need to iron plate and iron gears. So we're going to need to take another feed off the iron. So let's do that here. So do I need... Other than that, do I need anything else? It's just iron and chips, isn't it? Yeah, I don't need copper because I've already made the chips, so that's awesome. Right, so these two are going to run out over to the right a little bit and get picked up for the green science production. Like so. I can just imagine the base over to the left going mental now as I extend this, but that's nice. Nice to see things working. Right, so we're definitely going to need a belt to run into these. What I want to try and end up with is probably a belt with inserters on one side. You know, we can... Just thinking, we can probably get away with just doing... They're in line. Yeah, weird. There's a lot of weird perspectiveness going on in this game. Perspectiveness? That's not a word. Anyway, but yeah, like... I mean, I know one thing that they're fixing in the Alpha, not Alpha 13, but the 0.13 patch is the trains, because I'm not really sure how exactly, but basically, depending on whether the trains are facing horizontally or vertically, so if they're going sort of north to south on the map or east to west on the map, they are actually a different length. The image of the train is actually a different length, which, as you can imagine, causes no end of confusion. You know, annoyingly, that iron is on the wrong bloody side. Because what I was thinking, I would, I can probably just do this. Oh shit, we need gears, don't we? You know, let's just forget about the chips for a second, because I know what I want to do with those. So we're going to need iron to go down into the first one, into this one to make the iron gears. So let's make that onto iron gears now so I don't forget. Then we're going to have... Ooh, sugar. No, I'm going to have to move that up because that's not going to work. I need... Yeah, because I'm going to need... I was going to say I could have one of these making... the belts, because belts produce at a very quick rate, and then another one making the other three making the inserters, but when this one isn't going to be able to pick up inserters if I put it like this, so that's not going to work. You know, let's move all this. I don't really like it, although it's in a way it's nice to have it ordered like that. I don't like it. I don't like it looking like that. So we're going to instead put them horizontally. That I have to move those turrets at some point, but that's fine. So this one's going to make the gears. This is going to make belts, and then 3 inserters. Let's make it as 3 for now, because the inserters certainly make a lot slower, and then in the future you need to make smart inserters for blue science, and smart inserters require these inserters. So when we have excess of these on the belt, we might be able to pull them off to use them to make the smart inserters. So, see, future proofing. Right, so this one needs to go yoink, out to the iron production. Oh, not the iron production, the chip production. What I'd like to then do is pull off. I want to pull the iron off onto one side. Because obviously this can pick up now, because these all need iron plate as well, don't they? So I need to get the iron onto one side of the belt, really. Oop. No, it's attacking up there again. That's fine. This will get it onto one side. Is it getting onto the right side there? Oh, it is getting onto the right side. Awesome. Yes, okay, so that will work. So that will load. I'm then going to unload back onto the other side of that belt. So then I'll have iron gears and iron plate on that belt. Yeah, that will work. So this needs to go to there. So then this needs to load, 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 and load. And then, actually, you know what? I'm just going to do this because in a moment this will become more symmetrical. I'm going to load both of those. And then I need to bring this down. Actually, let's do it as far as we can. That way, if we ever want to switch around which of these makes belts and which makes the inserters, that will be possible, right? And then we want long-handed inserters. There, there, there. I don't need one there. That's fine. And then we just need some power. Yoink. Can I get it to there? Nope. There. There. Actually need to hook these up to something. Can I get it to there? Will it fit there? Oh, it does. Nice. Right, there we'll get to work. Then we need to find a way to get these out, obviously. Okay, we need to do one more little clever thing to make sure that this... how can we get this? These will make work like they're fine. So they're putting. I need to get this onto the inside of the belt somehow. You know, actually, the really easy way to do that is just to go do what we normally do in these scenarios. No. Yeah, see that I've done that before, but I don't think I've ever explained it. Like, if you see, like up here, I've got this weird extra bit of belt there. That's because if I don't have it there, it just does that. I don't think there's any way. Like, I'm trying to turn it around, but there's no way for me to make it actually work. So you need to leave that extra bit of belt to kind of show it that you don't want it to join up. Kind of annoying. I wish they would make it so you could just choose. But you know, it's fine. It's all fine. Right. Okay, so we got belts on one side, and now all we need to do is load these into the green science. Like so. Oh, and hook up some power. Always need the power. There we go, and there we go, and yep, there's our first green science pack. Yeah, they are all producing. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's not the prettiest of things I've ever built, but it works. It does what it's supposed to do, and it's producing enough. Well, I mean, it's filled that belt instantly. I mean, as you can tell, like, look at the speed that this thing's going. I've made that mistake many times when I think, oh, I'll build 2 of those, but actually, you don't need to. You really don't need to. What I might actually do as well is put in a buffer, because you see, like right now, the red science isn't producing any. You know, let's just do that. How do I do that though? Ooh. No, I can't right now. I need smart inserters. The way I can do, or I would normally do buffers is you have, if you imagine that it's next to the belt, I don't want to put it there so it doesn't start screwing it up. Is you do this, so you have a chest, another one, and then you put another chest and do that. So there should be a chest there, but I can't be asked to make one. So what happens is it picks it up, puts it into that chest. This one picks it up, puts it into that chest. Oh shit. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to fire there. Panic firing. Shit, they got past it. Yeah. Anyway, you get the idea. And it puts it back onto the belt until the belt's full, and then it will just fill up the chest. So that's how they're supposed to work. But we have panic. We got problems. They're attacking the power station. Shit. How did they get past our crappy and useless defences? These are mysteries we need to solve. Oh man, oh, they're going after the boilers now. Shit. Get off my freaking power station! I don't hear anyone else. Hey, thought I had a spare boiler. Apparently not. I don't know how they... Well, I guess they just walk straight past my turrets, or my turrets have run out of ammo. I better go check on them and put a couple more in, I think. Yeah, they went to work here. Oh man, you see, I don't normally play in this regard. Like, as I say, I generally will play just push back the biters so they're never inside the thing and I never have to worry about them. So this whole sort of concept of having to deal with them rather than just wiping them out is causing me some concerns right now. I mean, it's not that difficult. All I need to do is just stop being bone idle and just put down turrets around the base so there's some defences. But okay, we must still have a hole in the belt somewhere under this lot. Right, is everything back up and running? Did they destroy anything else? Why are these not operating? Is it just because the water's already... Yeah, the water's already 100% and they're not being only being used at low percentage points. They're not being run at full capacity. Right, so how did they get through? I mean, other than this giant gap between my things, but like normally they would just aggro onto these, but for some reason they're getting smarter. They decided not to aggro those. So let's stick in a couple more to fill in the gaps. Do we have any left anywhere? Yeah, apparently not. Maybe I'll put them all down. Got one. If I put one in the middle here, hopefully it'll aggro them to it. Yeah, they take a while. Right, there we go. Hopefully that should buy us a bit of time so we don't have to panic run up here every 5 minutes. Okay guys, well the green science is up and running and that actually took a lot less time than I was expecting. So I think what we will do now is start looking at... start looking at doing oil production, but unfortunately we don't have the oil production research right now. But let's have a scout around because I think it won't take very long. It'll only take a couple of minutes I think to do that. Where are we going to put oil production? Now we have... Are these trees always here? I feel like these trees have just arrived. I don't remember there being pink blobby trees over here, but yeah, maybe there was. So there is a giant patch of oil to our left here, which seems like something we want to take on board. But maybe I should put it... See, now I need to decide, because basically out of oil you get plastic, you get sulfur, you can get solid fuel, but I'm not going to be bothering with that. Is that it? Do you get anything else? You get like sulfuric acid, which you use for batteries, but I think you mainly make that out of sulfur. But so sulfur and plastic are the two main things I think you get out of making of oil processing. So do I want them fed onto the belts? Is the question. I've never really bothered to put oil products onto the belt just because you just kind of don't need, you only really use them in very specific things. But I kind of like the idea of producing like a super belt with everything on it. So I don't know if it's sensible or not, but we're gonna put plastic. Oops, excuse me. We're gonna put plastic on the belt, and we're gonna put sulfur on the belt. Yeah. Yep. No, I'm going with that decision. So, is there anywhere over here? I mean, we can feed the oil through pipes as far as we really want, so it's not really a big issue if we want to build the chemical plant down here somewhere and then build the oil processing. Is that a turret there? It is a turret. Yeah, leave it there. It's like a gorilla turret. It would just be nice though to have a little bit of oil down here Of course, yeah, the one place I want to put the oil. Oop, thank you very much. The oil processing, and there is no oil anywhere. Right, we need sulfur next. That's good. So now we can build the pump jacks and everything. So let's make up a few of them while we're scratching our brains as to where to put things. Is that chemical plant? It is. Right. Oh shit, what do we need? Shit tons more iron, Tim. That's what you always need. Yeah, there's a bit of oil up there. Not very much by the looks of it. And that's it. But I feel like I want to put the oil processing plant down here. It's kind of out the way, and then it can just feed into the belts up to the main bus up there. Yeah, we're going to go with that. We're going to put it down there, and then say we're going to pipe it from far and wide into our chemical plant, because say the main point of all of this is that we're going to have the main bus, you know, and the main production facility static, and then we will over time just ship in materials from further and further afield as we obviously use up the materials that are closer by. So let's make a few more of those. We need, what do we need for the refineries that we don't have? Ooh, the stone bloody bricks. Okay guys, I'm going to run up to the base, get some materials, I'm going to craft up a few things, and then we will crack on once I'm a bit more prepared to set up the oil processing. Okay guys, so I've got most of the materials and most of the stuff crafted up now, so I think what I'm going to do first is I'm back over by the science production, and I'm actually going to just whack down a couple of these. Oh, damn it, I thought I was going to match up better than that. Let's do that like that. And do we have any normal pipes? Ugh, let me cancel off these then. I need a couple of normal pipes. I've got loads of underground pipes right now, so that's fine, but that needs a joiner there. Boop, like that. And then we can do this. And I believe, I could be wrong. Oh no, I was going to say, that's coming in the next patch, just like you can do with the power lines, where you can run and just hold down the button and it will automatically put them at the maximum distance they can be apart. They've added that in for the pipes, but I don't think that's coming in until the next update. I don't really want to slam this straight through the science production facility, so can we get it to, how far can we get that? That's fine. Oop, God, that was close. Over here somewhere. Yeah, having a go at our iron production for some reason. Very rude of them. Oh shit, they're... Damn it, they're back up at the bloody... Damn you! Bloody freaking biders, they're back up at the power station. What have you got against my massively polluting power station that's destroying your planet? They're so unreasonable. Yeah, they're going after the boilers again. Let's make up a couple of turrets, because clearly they have got a hard on for this area right now. Leave it alone! We can't be bothered to keep coming back up here and fixing all this. Well, they went after all the inserters. Right, what did they destroy? Destroyed a boiler there by looks of it. Oh, they destroyed the pipe. Little ass munches, right. Can't we just get along? Can't you just, you know, accept that I want to destroy your planet? There we go. I'm assuming they're coming from this side. Right, we'll stick one up the top just in case. Right, as I say, not sure where those guys are coming from. I'm assuming they're coming from the base to the left, but then to the right over here, but then I don't know why they're circumventing everything else. Is that facing the right way? Ah, the belt's broken, isn't it? That's why they won't pick anything up. And... yep, everything else seems to be operational. Yeah, okay. Right, hopefully that turret will this time sort that out. Damn you creatures. Right. Get back to our great oil pipeline. It's fine, it gets us down to here. And then... where did I say oil processing was going? It's going down in this area here, isn't it? One thing I do need to look into is whether there is... I don't need to look into it because I know there's an answer to it, but I need to know what the details of it are. I believe that these pipes actually have a capacity as to how much they can carry, so I can't just... you know, I'm going to be bringing a lot of oil in from over there, and I don't think I can just have one pipe and it will just feed through an infinite supply of oil. Or at least as much oil as I can produce. I do think that I need to actually have... I will have to put in multiple pipes if I'm going to be bringing a lot over from that direction, but that's fine. We got space for that at the moment. Right, so let's just go down as far as we can with this. One more. Okay, that will do for our oil feed, I think. Make a few more of those and go and do all the corners that I missed. Are you making them or what? Oh, you're still making those, that's fine. Corner. 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 Double corner. Ooh, fluid handling already. Oh, that science base is doing some lovely work. Can't get that. That's blue. Let's get advanced electronics. Just let that work through that while we think about other things. Corner here, corner there. The rest is done. Oh, cool, we got our giant power cable, so I'll hook up the power now. We'll start pumping some oil into this beast. We're going to have to plonk down a couple of turrets here, I think. Oh shit, I don't have any ammo, do I? Ooh, I can make red ammo. Didn't even remember doing that, but I'm guessing I did military 2 at some point, or military 3 or 4, whatever it is. There, and we get this into here, and then in a minute we will be able to replace all of those crappy wooden posts with some of these. Oh. Did you make the ammo? You did. What do you need for that? It's copper and... oh, copper and steel. I'm thinking, why can I make the good ammo and not the crappy ammo? There we go. That'll do. That'll do. We'll put some more in there in a bit if it needs it. Right, you can see the oil is now flowing through my pipes, symbolised by the little black teardrop. And right, so now we need to put down the oil processing plants, which are these. This is where things start to get a little bit complicated, because basically, as I say, you know, forgive me if I'm teaching grandma to suck eggs, as the old saying goes, but if you've not played this before, this oil processing can seem quite scary and confusing at first. But basically how this works is you take the crude oil and you feed it into an oil refinery, and that oil refinery will break down the crude oil into 3 parts. It's heavy oil, light oil, and I think petroleum gas. So you see you've got the 3 outputs on the left and the 2 inputs on the right. Those 3 outputs all have to be kept separate so that they can then be used for different things. And the 2 inputs, you put oil in, but when you get the advanced oil processing, which I tried to get earlier, you then put water and oil in, and it basically makes it more efficient. Well, I believe it makes it more efficient. So you get more raw product for less oil. The problem with the oil processing is if you mix any pipe, so if I put water into an oil pipe, that entire section needs to be destroyed and rebuilt. Because once you see, it seems once you contaminate one of your pipes, you cannot undo it. So, at least as far as I'm aware. So, all of the 2 inputs and the 3 outputs all need to be kept completely separate. And obviously, if you put pipes next to each other, they will connect to each other. There's no way to tell a pipe not to connect to each other other than having underground pipes. So, yeah, it gets a little bit complicated, but and every time I do this, I'm trying to do it in a way that looks nice and pretty, and it never works out. So Forgive me if this just ends up being a complete clusterfuck, because it probably will. So I can't remember. One of these will turn into water when I get advanced oil processing, but I cannot for the life of me remember which is which. So we're just going to have to hope we get it right now, and then if we don't, we'll... why am I putting that like that? If we've got it wrong, then we'll have to fix it later. But I think we can just do it like this. I'd say you don't need to feed oil into both of these, I don't believe. I don't think there's any particular benefit doing that. You might maybe get a little bit more throughput, but as I say, I'm not entirely sure that that's the case. Do this. So I try and use the underground pipes as much as possible when doing this, because, you know, once I have to run water in this side and all the outputs out this side, it's kind of, yeah, it gets a bit confusing, and it's very easy to accidentally hook a pipe to another one, whereas the underground pipes can't hook to anything else. I can put a pipe there and it won't connect to it. I can put one there, you know, I can put it all the way around. The only place I can't put it is there. So yeah, the underground pipes are a little bit better. Right, so we have oil going into all of the refineries, and now we just need to have output. So what I'm going to do initially, because we are running out of time on this episode, is I'm just going to try and connect them up to each to a tank. Bollocks, I'm going to iron. Just grab some iron quickly. But yeah, I'm just basically going to connect them up to a tank, so they can at least say in this episode I got oil processing running, even if it's not doing anything useful. And then we can use those storage tanks to feed off into the various raw materials that we want to produce. So we need 3 of those. How many are we doing on pipes? Does it take to make those? Steel and iron, that's fine. Ooh, thick and fast. What's that? Flammables? Ooh, we'll make a flamethrower. I mean, I don't know. Circuit network. That is a whole nother level of geekdom that I can't even comprehend. Let's do that, because we were talking about getting towards lasers, weren't we? That was the whole point of this, Timmy. So maybe you should do some of the research that gets you towards that. So the way I've done this before is in kind of like a scale. So I basically say, right, petroleum gas will be in the first space. So I do this. So that hooks the petroleum gas up together, and run a feed out. We're going to try and run the feed from the top one, I think. Run a feed out as far as we can go, and stick a petroleum gas tank down. Boop. Actually, let's go away. Let's put it up there like that. Right, so now once I put power up, that will start filling up that with petroleum gas. It is petroleum gas, isn't it? I don't know, probably. Don't know why you'd put gas in a tank like that. Yeah, I guess it's sealed. It could hold gas, maybe. Probably not rated for it, but whatever. Right, then what we do is we come out one and hook up the light oil. Need more of these. Yeah, we're gonna be a little bit long on this episode, but I'm not far off finishing this one off, and then we will wrap it up. So if you wanna see how this all works once it's all hooked together, then stick around. I'll try not to end this episode like I did with the last one, where I was just in a panic, running back and forth, making stupid mistakes while I was trying to get done what I wanted to get done, and before the episode ran dry. Right. So this should work, because I'm using underground belt pipes, so they're not going to connect up to the petroleum gas and ruin that. Oh, that's the last one. And then I want to move out one more to this, but I think, to do this maybe, because I think it'll bugger it up if I don't. Yeah, and that. I mean, I don't know. I may be making terrible mistakes doing it like this, but I've done it like this before, and it seems to work. And these are coming thick and fast. Batteries. We need batteries. So let's just start doing these. Right. So there. None of this is connecting as it shouldn't be. Yeah, I don't think I will ever need more than 4 chemical processing plants. I mean, I could do, but I never have up to now. So, right. So now we have light oil hooked up. So let's just put that to it. Where can I put this so it won't connect? Yeah, that's fine. It won't connect there. Just don't want it to connect into the that, because it will mix in the tanks as well and ruin it all. And then this one, go up to line with that, and put the tank like that. I put that in the wrong place, didn't I? Didn't actually connect. You make the weird wishy-washy watery noise when you're near the chemical processing plant. I've never noticed that before. Hopefully it'll pick it up in the edit. Right, so now we have our 3 tanks. All we need now is a little bit of power. Let's run a mega power cable. Let's run it from up here. I want to run it from somewhere where, you know, let's take an extra second and just run it from here, because this is always going to be here. So I want to try, I'm just starting to try and put these in where they're going to be needed, and then I can get rid of all this crappy wooden stuff rather than just bonging these down in random places. Let's run this down by the pipes. So we are going to put some defences in here for definite though. Put that there, and then switch over to the medium poles. Oh god, I literally can't keep up with this. Oh, we got the lasers, awesome. Right, so we need, probably put one there. Ooh, and the flame means that it's working. And another one, and another one, and another one. And there we go, guys. That is oil processing up and running. And as you can see, my 3 tanks are starting to fill up. Yep, slowly but surely. With just those 2 oil pumps running, it's probably not going to produce massive amounts. 2 is not going to be enough to run 4, but there's a massive oil field over there that we can hook up. So, guys, that has been a pretty successful episode, I think. Oop, are you on the turrets, or are you attacking something else? Yeah. So we've got the green science up and running, and we've got oil, sort of the basics of our starting oil processing up and running, which is great. So now, next episode, when we have laser turrets researching, so next episode, I think we will crack on with getting laser turrets up and running. What I might do on the next episode is actually build another. Start building the base construction base, if that makes sense. So running off the main bus, actually going off and into a little factory where over time it will build up to build all of the various things I need to actually run the base. Like it'll have something making these assemblers and the inserters and all that kind of stuff. Is it still running at max capacity? Yeah, I think so. Oh, it's all backed up. That's nice. Yeah, so we will actually start making a base to make all the components I need to make the rest of the base, and then part of that will be obviously defences, so I'll have laser turrets being produced in there. I'll have to do a bit of more work on the chemical plant to get to that point, but we'll have time in the next episode, I think, to do that. So, but for now, I'm going to wrap this episode up as I marvel at my green science production facility. I hope you're enjoying the series, hope you're enjoying the episode, or enjoyed the episode, and please check back for the next one. So we've got plenty more work to be done here to get to a point where we can possibly properly wipe out all the biters. So I've been Timmy, and this has been Factorio. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.